Epic of Gilgamesh, retranslated by Phil Rocko Williams. Envoys of Aga, son of Enmi-Baraj came from Kis to Gilgamesh in Unug. Gilgamesh presented the matter before the elders of his city, choosing his words carefully. There are wells to be finished, many wells of the land yet unfinished. There are shallow wells yet to be completed, wells to deepen, hoisting gear to be made ready. We should not submit to the house of Kis. Should we not strike it with weapons? In the assembled council, the elders of the city replied, there are indeed wells to be finished, many wells of the land yet unfinished. There are shallow wells yet to be completed, wells to deepen, hoisting gear to be made ready. Therefore we should submit to the house of Kis. We should not strike it with weapons. Gilgamesh, lord of Kulaba, trusting in Inanna, did not take the counsel of the elders seriously. He presented the matter again, this time before the able-bodied men of the city, saying, there are wells to be finished, many wells of the land yet unfinished. There are shallow wells yet to be completed, wells to deepen, hoisting gear to be made ready. Never before have you submitted to the house of Kis. Should you not strike it with weapons? In the assembled council, the able-bodied men answered, standing on duty and sitting in attendance, escorting the king's son and forever grasping the donkey reins. Who has that much breath? You elders should not submit to the house of Kis. Should we young men not strike it with weapons? The great gods created Unug, the handiwork of the gods, and Anna, the house lowered from heaven. You guard its great rampart, founded by En, its majestic residence established by En. You are its king and warrior, exuberant, a prince beloved of En. When Aga comes, what terror he will know. His army is small and scattered at the rear. His men will be unable to stand against us. Gilgamesh rejoiced at the counsel of the able-bodied men, and his spirit grew bright. He spoke to his servant Enkidu. Let weapons and battle arms be prepared. Let the mace return to your side. May terror and radiance be made great. When he comes, my fearsomeness will overwhelm him. His reason will be confused, his judgment scattered. Not 5, not 10 days passed before Aga, son of Enmi-Baraj laid siege to Unug. The city's reason faltered. Gilgamesh addressed his warriors. Choose among yourselves. Let a courageous man volunteer to go to Aga. Berhar-Tura, his royal guard, spoke. My king, I shall go to Aga, so that his reason may be confused, and his judgment scattered. Berhar-Tura went out through the city gate. As soon as he emerged, he was seized at the entrance and beaten from head to foot. He was brought before Aga and began to speak. Before he finished, an officer of Unug climbed the rampart and leaned out. Aga saw him and said to Berhar-Tura, slave, is that man your king? That man is not my king. If that were my king, if that were his furious brow, his bison eyes, his lapis lazuli beard, his elegant fingers, would he not cast down multitudes, raise up multitudes, smear nations with dust, fill canal mouths with silt, break barge prows, and take Aga, king of Kis, captive, in the midst of his army? They struck him again and beat him. Gilgamesh climbed the rampart. His radiance overwhelmed young and old alike. He armed the able-bodied men with maces, and stationed them at the gate. Only Enkidu went out. Gilgamesh leaned over the rampart. Aga looked up and said, slave, is that man your king? That man is indeed my king. Just as spoken. Gilgamesh cast down multitudes and raised multitudes. Nations were smeared with dust. Canal mouths filled with silt. Barge prows were broken. He took Aga, king of Kis, captive, in the midst of his army. Gilgamesh approached Aga and said, Aga, my overseer, Aga, my lieutenant, Aga, my commander. You gave me breath, you gave me life. You sheltered a fugitive, you gave grain to a fleeing bird. Before you, your former kindness is repaid. He released Aga and sent him back to Kis. O Gilgamesh, lord of Kulaba, praising you is sweet. Number 2. Gilgamesh and the Bull of Heaven. I will sing the song of the man of battle, the man of battle. I will sing the song of Lord Gilgamesh, the man of battle. I will sing the song of him with well-proportioned limbs, the man of battle. I will sing the song of the mighty Lord, the man of battle. In the great courtyard, without combat, she perceived the canopy. Holy Inanna perceived the canopy. From the palace of the Abzu she perceived it. My wild bull, my man, I shall not let you go. Lord Gilgamesh, my wild bull, my man, I shall not let you go. I shall not let you dispense justice in Eanna. I shall not let you pronounce verdicts in my holy Jipar. I shall not let you dispense justice in the Eanna beloved Bayan. Gilgamesh answered her, I shall not take over your portion in your Jipar. Do not block my way, Inanna. My desire is to catch mountain bulls and fill the cow pens. To catch mountain sheep and fill the sheepfolds. To acquire silver and cornelian. Inanna spoke again with a snort, and said to her, it will muddy the waters and foul the land. If the great bull is released, Unug will suffer. I will not give that which bears my own name. Inanna replied, I shall raise my voice to heaven and earth, and was frightened and said, I will give you the bull of heaven. In masculine fashion, holy Inanna seized the lapis lazuli tether. She brought down the bull of heaven. At Unug the bull devoured the pasture, and drank the river in vast gulps. With each draught a mile of water vanished. Yet its thirst was not satisfied. It stripped the land bare, and bent the palm trees into its mouth. Standing, the bull submerged Unug. Its presence overwhelmed Kulaba. Inanna watched from the ramparts. The bull bellowed in the dust. Gilgamesh advanced at its head, and Enkidu seized it from behind. Enkidu spoke to Gilgamesh, Magnificent One, born of noble lineage, splendor of the gods, furious bull ready for battle. Do not fear. Gilgamesh struck the bull down. They consigned its hide to the streets, and its entrails to the broad square. The widows' sons received their portions. Its carcass was sent to the knackers, and its 2 horns were fashioned into vessels, for pouring fine oil to Inanna in Eanna, for the death of the bull of heaven. Holy Inanna, it is sweet to praise you. Gilgamesh, Enkidu in the nether world. In those days, in those distant days, in those nights, in those remote nights, in those years, in those distant years, when the necessary things had been brought into manifest existence, when the necessary things had first been properly cared for, when bread had first been tasted in the shrines of the land, when the ovens of the land had been made to work, when the heavens had been separated from the earth, when the earth had been delimited from the heavens, when the fame of mankind had been established, when En had taken the heavens for himself, when Enlil had taken the earth for himself, and the nether world had been given to Ereskigala as a gift. Then he set sail, he set sail. The Father set sail for the nether world. Enki set sail for the nether world. Against the king a storm of small hailstones arose. Against Enki a storm of large hailstones arose. The small ones were light hammers. The large ones were like stones from catapults. The keel of Enki's little boat trembled as if butted by turtles. The waves at the bow rose to devour the Lord like wolves. And the waves at the stern attacked Enki like a lion. At that time there was a single tree, a single holub tree, growing on the bank of the pure Euphrates, watered by the Euphrates. The force of the south wind uprooted it and stripped its branches. And the Euphrates picked it up and carried it away. A woman, respectful of An's words, was walking along. A woman, respectful of Enlil's words, was walking along. She took the tree and brought it into Unug, into Inanna's luxuriant garden. She planted the tree with her feet, but not with her hands. She watered it using her feet, but not her hands. She said, when will this be a luxuriant chair for me to sit upon? She said, when will this be a luxuriant bed for me to lie upon? 5 years, 10 years went by. The tree grew massive, yet its bark did not split. At its roots a snake immune to incantations made its nest. In its branches the Anzud bird settled its young. In its trunk the phantom maid built herself a dwelling. The maid who laughs with a joyful heart. But holy Inanna cried, when dawn was breaking, when the horizon became bright, when the little birds began to clamor at daybreak, when Utu had left his bedchamber. Holy Inanna spoke first to Utu, her brother, and then, when he did not stand by her in the matter, she spoke to Gilgamesh, the warrior. She recited the old frame again. In those days when destiny was determined, when abundance overflowed in the land, when En took the heavens, when Enlil took the earth, and the nether world was given to Ereskigala as a gift, when he set sail, when he set sail, when the Father set sail for the nether world, when Enki set sail for the nether world, then storms rose against the Lord, hailstones like hammers and catapult stones, and Enki's little boat shuddered. The bow waves like wolves, the stern waves like a lion. She told him of the single holub tree, how the river carried it, how she brought it into Unug, into her garden, how she planted and watered it with her feet, how years passed and it swelled, yet the intruders claimed it, the snake immune to incantations at the roots, the anzud bird in the branches, the laughing phantom maid in the trunk. And she cried. In the matter his sister told him. Gilgamesh stood by her, he strapped on a great belt, 50 minas at his waist. 50 minas to him is 30 shekels. He took up his bronze axe for expeditions, weighing 7 talents and 7 minas. He killed the snake immune to incantations at the roots. The anzud bird lifted its young and fled to the mountains. The phantom maid left her dwelling and sought refuge in the wilderness. He uprooted the tree and stripped its branches. And the sons of his city who went with him cut up its branches and bundled them. He gave the wood to holy Inanna, for her chair, for her bed, and for himself. From its roots he made his ball, and from its branches he made his mallet. He played with the ball in the broad square, never wanting to stop playing. He praised himself in the broad square, never wanting to stop praising. The young men of his city played with the ball. For him who made the team of the widows' children, they lamented. Oh my neck, oh my hips. For those with a mother, the mother brought bread for her son. For those with a sister, the sister poured water for her brother. When evening came, he marked the spot where the ball had been placed, picked up his ball from before him, and took it home. But early in the morning, as he sought the marked place, the widow's accusation and the young girl's complaint caused the ball and mallet to fall to the bottom of the nether world. He tried with his hand but could not reach them. He tried with his foot but could not touch them. At the gate of Ganzer, before the nether world, he sat down. Gilgamesh wept, crying bitterly. Oh my ball, oh my mallet, oh my ball, I am not yet sated with its charms. The game has not yet palled for me. If only my ball still waited for me in the carpenter's house. I would treat the carpenter's wife like my own mother. I would treat the carpenter's child like my little sister. My ball has fallen into the nether world, who will retrieve it for me? My mallet has fallen into Ganzer, who will retrieve it for me? His servant Enkidu answered him. My king, you weep, why does your heart worry? Today I will retrieve your ball from the nether world. I will retrieve your mallet from Ganzer. Gilgamesh answered Enkidu. If you are going down to the nether world, let me advise you. My instructions must be followed. Pay attention to my words. Do not put on your clean garments. They will recognize at once that you are alien. Do not anoint yourself with fine oil from a bowl. They will surround you at your scent. Do not throw sticks in the nether world. Those struck down will gather around you. Do not hold a cornel wood stick in your hand. The spirits will feel insulted by you. Do not put sandals on your feet. Do not shout in the nether world. Do not kiss your beloved wife. Do not strike your wife even if angered. Do not kiss your beloved child. Do not strike your son even if angered. The outcry aroused will detain you in the nether world. She who lies there, Ninazu's mother who lies there. Her pure shoulders are not covered with a garment. No linen is spread over her pure breast. She has fingers like a pickaxe. She plucks her hair out like leeks. But Enkidu did not heed his master's words. He put on his clean garments, and they recognized he was alien. He anointed himself with fine oil, and they surrounded him at its scent. He hurled throw sticks, and those struck down surrounded him. He held a cornel wood stick, and the spirits felt insulted. He put sandals on his feet. He caused irritation in the nether world. He kissed his beloved wife and struck her when angered. He kissed his beloved child and struck his son when angered. He aroused an outcry, and he was detained in the nether world. Then Gilgamesh, son of Ninsuman, directed his steps alone to Ekur, the temple of Enlil. He cried before Enlil, Father Enlil, my ball fell into the nether world. My mallet fell into Ganzer. Enkidu went down to retrieve them. But the nether world has seized him. Namtar did not seize him. The Asog did not seize him. But the nether world has seized him. The Udug of Nergal, who spares no one, did not seize him. But the nether world has seized him. He did not fall in battle on the field of manhood. But the nether world has seized him. Father Enlil did not stand by him in the matter. So Gilgamesh went on to Eridug. In Eridug he directed his steps alone to the temple of Enki. He cried before Enki the same lament. And Father Enki stood by him. Enki said to Utu, the son born by Ningal, open a hole in the nether world immediately, and bring up his servant from the nether world. Utu opened a hole in the nether world, and brought up Enkidu with his breeze from the nether world. They hugged and kissed. They wearied each other with questions. Did you see the order of the nether world? If only you would tell me, my friend, if only you would tell me. If I tell you the order of the nether world, sit down and weep. I shall sit down and weep. What your heart rejoiced to touches now. Worms infest it like an old garment. Like dust in a crevice, it is full of dust. Alas, said Gilgamesh, and he sat down in the dust. Did you see the one who had one son? I saw him. How does he fare? He weeps bitterly at the wooden peg driven into his wall. Did you see the one who had two sons? I saw him. How does he fare? He sits on a couple of bricks, eating bread. Did you see the one who had three sons? I saw him. How does he fare? He drinks water from a saddle waterskin. Did you see the one who had four sons? I saw him. How does he fare? His heart rejoices like a man who has 4 asses to yoke. Did you see the one who had 5 sons? I saw him. How does he fare? Like a good scribe he is indefatigable, he enters the palace easily. Did you see the one who had 6 sons? I saw him. How does he fare? He is as cheerful as a plowman. Did you see the one who had 7 sons? I saw him. How does he fare? As a companion of the gods he sits on a throne and listens to judgments. Did you see the palace eunuch? I saw him. How does he fare? Like a useless alala stick he is propped in a corner. Did you see the woman who never gave birth? I saw her. How does she fare? Like a discarded pot she is thrown away violently, she gives no man joy. Did you see the young man who never undressed his wife? I saw him. How does he fare? You finish a rope, and he weeps over the rope. Did you see the young woman who never undressed her husband? I saw her. How does she fare? You finish a reed mat, and she weeps over the reed mat. Did you see the spirit of the one who has no funerary offerings? I saw him. How does he fare? He eats the scraps and crumbs tossed out in the street. Did you see my little stillborn children who never knew existence? I saw them. How do they fare? They play at a table of gold and silver, laden with honey and ghee. Did you see the one who was set on fire? I did not see him. His spirit is not about. His smoke went up to the sky. Gilgamesh and Hawawa version A. The Lord resolved to set out for the mountain where that man lives. Lord Gilgamesh resolved to set out for the mountain where that man lives. He spoke to his servant Enkidu. Enkidu, since a man cannot pass beyond the final end of life, I will go into the mountains and establish my renown. Where renown can be established, I will establish my renown. And where no renown can be established, I will establish the renown of the gods. Enkidu answered his master, my lord, if today you will set out for the mountains, you should know it from us. A decision that concerns the mountains is Utu's business. A decision that concerns the mountains of cedar felling is the business of youthful Utu. Gilgamesh prepared a white kid, and clasped a brown kid close to his breast. He held a holy staff before his nose, and addressed Utu of heaven. Utu, I am going to set off into the mountains, be my helper. I am going to set off into the mountains of cedar felling, be my helper. From heaven Utu replied, young man, you are noble already in your own right. But what would you want with the mountains? Gilgamesh said, Utu, I have a word for your ear, pay attention. In my city people die, and hearts are full of distress. People are lost, and it fills me with dismay. I craned my neck over the city wall. Corpses in the water make the river almost overflow. That is what I see. That will happen to me too. That is the way things go. No one is tall enough to reach heaven. No one can stretch wide enough over the mountains. Since a man cannot pass beyond the final end of life, I will go into the mountains and establish my renown. Where renown can be established, I will establish my renown. And where no renown can be established, I will establish the renown of the gods. Utu accepted his tears as a fitting gift, and turned to him with compassion. Now there are 7 warriors, sons of a single mother. The first, their eldest brother, has lion's paws and eagle's talons. The second is a serpent. The third is a dragon serpent. The fourth blazes with fire. The fifth is a serpent. The sixth beats at the flanks of the mountains like floodwater that destroys all. The seventh flashes like lightning, and none can deflect its power. Let them guide you to the place in the mountains, where the boats must be pulled from the water. The feller of cedars was filled with joy. Lord Gilgamesh was filled with joy. In his city he had the horn sounded for single men. Let him who has a household go to his household. Let him who has a mother go to his mother. Let bachelor males, types like me, 50 of them, join me at my side. Those with households return to their houses. Those with mothers return to their mothers. 50 bachelors joined him at his side. He went to the smiths and had weapons and axes cast. The strength of warriors. He went to the shaded plantations, and had ebony and holub and apricot and box trees felled. And he equipped the fellow citizens going with him. He crossed mountain range after mountain range, and the cedars did not catch his attention, until he crossed the seventh range. Then his intuition led him to the cedars. He did not need to ask, nor search further. Lord Gilgamesh began to chop at the cedars. Enkidu lopped off their branches, and the timbers were stacked in piles. Then Hawawa began to loose his terrors. Sleep overcame Gilgamesh. Enkidu awoke, shuddering, and the silence lay eerie on everything. He touched Gilgamesh and could not rouse him. He spoke and Gilgamesh did not reply. You who have gone to sleep, Gilgamesh, young lord of Kulaba. How long will you sleep? The mountains grow indistinct as shadows fall. Evening twilight lies over them. Proud Utu has gone to the bosom of his mother Ningal. How long will you sleep? The sons of your city should not wait at the foot of the hills. Their mothers should not twine string in your city's square. He pressed the words into his ear, covered him with them like cloth, took oil on a cloth and rubbed it over Gilgamesh's chest. Then Gilgamesh stood up like a bull on the great earth, bent his neck, and cried, By the life of my mother Ninsuman, and my father, holy Lugalbanda, am I to become again as if I were slumbering, on the lap of my mother? Again he swore, By the life of my mother Ninsuman and my father Lugalbanda, until I learn whether that one is human or God, I will not turn back the steps I have set toward the mountains. Enkidu answered, trying to make life appear more attractive. My master, you have not truly seen him, he should not vex you. But he vexes me, who have seen him before. His mouth is a dragon's maw, his face a lion's grimace. His chest is like a raging flood. No one can escape his brow, which devours the reed beds. Travel on, my master, yet I would travel back. If I tell your mother, he is alive, she will laugh. If I tell her, he is dead, she will weep bitterly. Gilgamesh replied, Two together will not perish. A grappling pole does not sink. No one cuts through a 3-ply cloth. You help me and I will help you. What can anyone do against us then? Come, let us get after him and get a sight of him. Before a man can come within 60 times 6 yards, Hawawa has reached his house among the cedars. When he looks at a man, it is the look of death. When he shakes his head, it is reproach. And he speaks, You may still be a young man, but you will never again return to the city of the mother who bore you. Fear spread through Gilgamesh's sinews. Terror seized his feet. Hawawa addressed him, Come now, bearer of a scepter of wide-ranging power. Noble glory of the gods, angry bull ready for battle. Your mother knew how to bear sons. Your nurse knew how to nourish children. Do not fear. Rest your hand on the ground. Gilgamesh rested his hand on the ground and answered, By the life of my mother Ninsuman and my father Lugalbanda, none knows where in the mountains you live, and they would know it. Here, I have brought you Enmi Baraj Si, my big sister, to be your wife in the mountains. And again he said, By the life of my mother Ninsuman and my father Lugalbanda, none knows where in the mountains you live, and they would know it. Here, I have brought you Matur, my little sister, to be your concubine in the mountains. Hand your terrors over to me. I want to become your kinsman. Then Hawawa handed over his first terror, and Gilgamesh's fellow citizens lopped branches, and bundled them to lay them at the foot of the hills. The pattern repeats across manuscripts. Second terror, third terror, and onward, with variant gifts and repeated oaths, until the seventh terror is surrendered. When Hawawa had handed over his seventh terror, Gilgamesh found himself beside him. He drew near from behind, as one approaches a snake, made as if to kiss him, and struck his cheek with his fist. A halter was thrown over him like a captured wild bull. His arms were bound like a captured man. Hawawa wept and pleaded, I want to speak to Utu. Utu, I never knew a mother who bore me, nor a father who raised me. I was born in the mountains, you brought me up. Yet Gilgamesh swore to me by heaven and earth and the mountains. Hawawa prostrated himself. Gilgamesh's noble heart took pity, and he said to Enkidu, Enkidu, let the captured bird fly home. Let the captured man return to his mother's embrace. But Enkidu replied, one so exalted and yet so lacking in judgment, will be devoured by fate without understanding it. If a captured bird flies home, if a captured man returns, then you will never return to the mother city that bore you. Hawawa turned on Enkidu, you speak hateful words against me. Hireling, hired for your keep, why do you speak so? As he spoke, Enkidu cut his throat, and they put his head in a leather bag. They entered before Enlil, and placed the head of Hawawa before him. When Enlil saw it, he spoke in anger. Why did you act in this way? Was it commanded that his name be wiped from the earth? He should have sat before you, eaten the bread you eat, drunk the water you drink. Then Enlil assigned the auras, in an order confused across the tradition, and the sequence preserved as a compromise as follows. He gave the first aura to the fields. He gave the second aura to the rivers. He gave the third aura to the reed beds. He gave the fourth aura to the lions. He gave the fifth aura to the palace. He gave the sixth aura to the forests or hills. He gave the seventh aura to Nungal, goddess of prisoners. Mighty one Gilgamesh, be praised. Enkidu, be praised. Nizaba, be praised. The death of Gilgamesh, the great hero has lain down and will never rise again. He of well-proportioned limbs has lain down and will never rise again. The Lord of Kulaba has lain down and will never rise again. He who spoke most wisely has lain down and will never rise again. He who subdued many lands has lain down and will never rise again. He has lain down upon his death-bed, and upon a couch of sighs, and will never rise again. Unable to stand, unable to sit, he laments. Unable to eat, unable to drink, he laments. Held fast by the door bolt of Namtar, he cannot rise. Like a fish trapped in a cistern, he wastes away. Like a gazelle caught in a snare, he lies upon his couch. Then Lord Gilgamesh lay down upon his death-bed. The king was overcome by sleep, and a dream was shown to him. They said to him in the assembly of the gods, kingship was your destiny, but eternal life was not your destiny. This is the bane of being human. The darkest day awaits you. The solitary place awaits you. The unavoidable struggle awaits you. But do not go to the underworld with a heart knotted in anger. They said further, let Gilgamesh, as a ghost among the dead, be governor of the netherworld. Let him pass judgments and render verdicts. Let his words be as weighty as those of Ningishita and Dumuzid, his beloved wife, his beloved children, his musicians, servants, and retainers were laid down in their places. Gifts were set out for Areskigala, for Namtar, for Neti, for Ningishita and Dumuzid, and for the Anuna gods of the Holy Mound. They opened the Euphrates. When its waters receded, his tomb was built from stone. Its doors and thresholds were hard stone. Its beams were set in gold. Heavy blocks were laid in place, and dark soil covered it completely. For future days, Gilgamesh, son of Ninsuman, was counted among the Anuna gods. He became a companion of the great gods. He governs the netherworld below, and his judgments do not fail. Gilgamesh, Lord of Kulaba, it is sweet to praise you.